In a world where kindness often feels scarce, one stray dog's desperate plea for food reveals the true essence of humanity. Picture this: a scruffy, weary dog, with ribs showing and eyes filled with hope, stands on a bustling street corner. Each passerby is lost in their own world. But this dog knows that survival depends on the compassion of strangers. What happens next will not only tug at your heartstrings, but will also remind you of the incredible bond between humans and animals. Meet Max, a once-cherished pet who now roams the streets alone. His fur, once a vibrant golden hue, is now matted and dull, a testament to the harsh realities of life as a stray. Each morning, he wakes up under a park bench, the only shelter he can find from the elements. As the sun rises, it casts a warm glow over the city. But for Max, warmth is a fleeting memory. With each passing day, Max's hunger grows. He wanders through the bustling streets, where the smell of fresh bread and sizzling street food fills the air. His stomach growls, but his heart remains hopeful. He approaches people with a wagging tail and pleading eyes, hoping to catch a glimpse of compassion. Yet, most people look right past him, their eyes glued to their phones or lost in conversation. Some even quicken their pace, avoiding the sight of a dog in need. But Max doesn't give up. He's learned to navigate the urban jungle, finding scraps of food in the most unexpected places. As he scours the streets, Max encounters other stray animals. Some are friendly, sharing their stories of survival, while others are wary, guarding their territory fiercely. Max listens intently, learning the tricks of the trade. He discovers where the best food scraps can be found, behind restaurants, in alleyways, and even at the local market, where vendors occasionally toss out leftovers. Despite the challenges, Max remains resilient. He finds solace in the small moments: a sunny patch on the sidewalk where he can rest, the sound of laughter from children playing in the park, and the occasional kind word from a passerby who stops to pet him. Each interaction fuels his spirit, reminding him that not all humans are indifferent. One day, as he searches for something to eat, he stumbles upon a small cafe. The aroma of coffee and pastries wafts through the air, drawing him closer. He watches as patrons enjoy their meals, laughter and chatter filling the space. His heart races with anticipation. Could today be different? Will someone notice him and offer a morsel of food? As he lingers outside the cafe, a little girl with pigtails spots him. Her eyes widen with curiosity and empathy. She tugs at her mother's sleeve, pointing at Max, who stands there, a picture of hope amidst the chaos of city life. The mother glances down, initially surprised, but then softens at the sight of the scruffy dog. Max's tail wags hopefully as the girl approaches him, her small hand outstretched with a piece of bread. It's a moment of connection, a brief encounter that could change everything. But just as he begins to step forward, the mother pulls the girl back, shaking her head. "We can't feed every stray," she says, her voice laced with practicality. Max watches as they walk away, his heart sinking. The cafe door swings shut, and he's left standing there, a silent witness to the indifference that often surrounds him. Yet deep down, he knows that hope is never truly lost. Every day is a new chance for kindness, a reminder that even in the darkest moments, there's a flicker of light waiting to break through. Max takes a deep breath, lifts his head high, and continues his quest, determined to find that one person who will see him for who he truly is, a loyal friend in search of love and belonging. As days turn into weeks, Max faces the harsh realities of life on the streets. Each morning begins with the same routine, a search for food that often feels like an uphill battle. The city, bustling with life, becomes both a playground and a battleground for survival. Max navigates through crowded sidewalks, weaving between hurried pedestrians and parked cars. He learns to be cautious, always keeping an eye out for potential dangers. The sounds of honking horns and shouting voices create a chaotic symphony that fills the air, but Max has grown accustomed to it. He knows he must stay alert to avoid getting hurt. His stomach growls louder with each passing hour, a constant reminder of his hunger. He scavenges through trash cans, hoping to find anything, that will satisfy his growling belly. Some days he discovers half-eaten sandwiches, discarded pizza crust, or even a forgotten dog biscuit. Each small victory is celebrated, but the struggle never truly ends. One particularly cold morning, as Max searches for food, he encounters a group of stray cats huddled together for warmth. Initially wary, he approaches cautiously, sensing their shared plight. They exchange wary glances, and after a moment, one brave tabby cat steps forward. "You look like you could use some company," she says, her voice soft yet confident. Max nods, grateful for the connection. "I'm just trying to find something to eat. It's been tough lately." The cats share their secrets about where to find food, revealing hidden spots around the neighborhood that Max had never considered. They form an unspoken bond, united by their shared struggle for survival. As the days go by, Max learns to work together with the cats. They form a small community, pooling their resources and sharing their findings. When one of them discovers a stash of food, they all gather to feast, celebrating their victories together. In this newfound camaraderie, Max finds a sense of belonging that had eluded him since becoming a stray. But survival is not just about finding food. It's also about avoiding danger. Max witnesses the darker side of life on the streets. Other animals fighting for territory, aggressive humans who throw stones, and the constant threat of traffic. He learns to be quick and agile, darting out of harm's way just in time. Each close call strengthens his resolve to survive another day. One fateful afternoon, while rummaging through a dumpster behind a grocery store, Max hears a commotion nearby. Curious, he peeks out from his hiding spot. A small dog is being chased by a group of teenagers. They laugh and shout, throwing rocks to scare the frightened pup. Max's heart races. He knows he can't just stand by and watch. Summoning all his courage, he barks loudly, drawing the attention of the teenagers. "Hey, leave him alone," he shouts, surprising even himself. The teenagers turn, momentarily distracted. Max takes this chance to rush towards the small dog, guiding him away from danger. "Follow me," Max urges, and together they sprint down the alley, narrowly escaping the threats behind them. Once they reach safety, the small dog looks up at Max with wide, grateful eyes. "Thank you. I thought they were going to catch me," he says, panting heavily. Max smiles, feeling a surge of pride. "We have to stick together out here. It's tough, but we can help each other." In that moment, Max realizes that even in the face of adversity, there's strength in solidarity. Their shared struggles forge connections that remind him of the love and loyalty that exist in the world, even among those who have been abandoned. As they continue their journey together, Max understands that every day is a new challenge, but with companionship, hope, and resilience, survival becomes a little more bearable. One sunny afternoon, as Max and his new friend, whom he learned was named Buddy, wander through the city, a familiar scent wafts through the air. It's the aroma of freshly baked bread from a nearby bakery, and Max's stomach growls in response. "Let's check it out," he says, his spirits lifted by the tantalizing smell. As they approach the bakery, they see a line of people waiting outside, some chatting and others lost in their thoughts. Max and Buddy sit quietly on the sidewalk, hoping that someone might notice them. The bakery's door swings open and a woman steps out, carrying a warm bag filled with pastries. She pauses, her eyes landing on the two scruffy dogs. For a moment, Max feels a flicker of hope. The woman's expression softens as she kneels down, extending her hand toward them. "Oh, you poor things," she murmurs, her voice filled with compassion. "You look like you could use a little something to eat." Max's heart races as she reaches into the bag and pulls out a small piece of bread. "Here you go, sweet boy," she says, offering it to Max. He approaches cautiously, his tail wagging furiously. With a grateful nudge, he takes the bread from her hand, savoring the taste as he devours it. Buddy watches in awe, his eyes wide with disbelief. "You got food, just like that," he exclaims, amazed at the kindness of a stranger. The woman smiles, her warmth radiating as she reaches for another piece of bread. "And for you too, little one," she says, offering a piece to Buddy. As they munch on their unexpected feast, the woman introduces herself as Sarah. "I come here every week to help the animals in need," she explains. "I can't take you home, but I can make sure you have something to eat." Max and Buddy exchange glances, their hearts swelling with gratitude. After a few moments of sharing food, Sarah looks down the street. "I have to go back inside, but I'll be back in a little while. You two stay safe, okay?" With that, she waves goodbye, leaving Max and Buddy feeling a sense of hope they hadn't experienced in a long time. Days pass, and Sarah returns to the bakery, always bringing extra food for the stray dogs. Max and Buddy eagerly await her arrival, their tails wagging in anticipation. Each time she comes, she not only feeds them, but also spends a few moments talking to them, showering them with affection. "You're both such good boys," she coos, scratching behind their ears. Max begins to feel a bond forming with Sarah, a connection that goes beyond mere survival. Her kindness reignites a spark of trust in him, reminding him of the love he once knew. He starts to look forward to her visits, counting the days until he can see her again. One day, as Sarah kneels down to feed them, she notices Max's ribs showing through his fur. Concern washes over her face. "You need a vet, sweet boy," she says softly. "I can't just leave you like this." Max tilts his head, unsure of what she means. "A vet? What is that?" Seeing his confusion, Sarah explains, "It's a place where they can help you feel better. I want to make sure you're healthy and safe." Max's heart swells with hope. Could it be possible that someone would care for him like this? The thought is both thrilling and terrifying. As Sarah continues to visit, she begins to bring supplies, blankets, toys, and even a collar for Max. He wears it proudly, feeling a sense of belonging that he thought was lost forever. Buddy watches in admiration, realizing that their lives are changing for the better. Max knows that this newfound friendship with Sarah is a turning point in his life. He feels a sense of security he hadn't experienced in a long time. For the first time, he dares to dream of a future beyond the streets, a future filled with love, loyalty, and the warmth of a home. As the weeks go by, Max and Buddy thrive under Sarah's care. Their days are filled with warmth, food, and companionship. Max feels stronger and healthier, and his fur begins to regain its luster. The collar Sarah gave him is a constant reminder of the love he's found, and he wears it proudly. One sunny afternoon, while playing in the park with Buddy, Max notices a commotion at the edge of the playground. A group of children is gathered around, their laughter ringing through the air. Curious, Max trots over, tail wagging, eager to join in the fun. As he approaches, he sees a little boy sitting on the ground crying. Concerned, Max pads closer, his instincts kicking in. He gently nudges the boy's hand with his nose, trying to comfort him. The boy looks up, surprised to see a scruffy dog by his side. "What's wrong?" Max seems to ask with his soulful eyes. The boy sniffles, wiping his tears. "I lost my toy," he says, pointing to a small red ball that's rolled away. Max's heart goes out to the boy. He knows what it's like to feel lost and alone. Without hesitation, he bounds off in the direction of the ball, his instincts guiding him. The other children watch in awe as Max races across the grass, determined to retrieve the toy. After a few moments, he finds the ball nestled in the bushes. With a triumphant bark, he picks it up and trots back to the boy, dropping it at his feet. The boy's face lights up with joy, and he bursts into laughter. "You found it! Thank you, doggy!" he exclaims, hugging Max tightly. After the initial excitement settles, Sarah kneels down to look Max in the eyes. "I've missed you so much, buddy. I've been working hard to make sure I could bring you home." She glances at the family she was speaking to earlier. "I was worried you wouldn't recognize me after all this time." Max gives her a gentle nuzzle, reassuring her that no amount of time could erase their bond. "Where have you been?" he seems to ask with his expressive eyes. "I had to take care of some family matters," Sarah explains. "But I made sure to find a place where I could bring you and Buddy to live with me." Max's heart swells with hope. "Really? We're going home?" he barks, unable to contain his excitement. Sarah nods, her smile brightening even more. "Yes, I found a lovely little house with a big backyard where you can run and play. It's going to be our home together." As they leave the adoption event, Max and Buddy trot alongside Sarah, their spirits soaring. The city feels different now, filled with possibilities and new adventures. They arrive at Sarah's house, and Max takes in the sights and smells of his new surroundings. The backyard is spacious and filled with vibrant flowers, a perfect playground for two energetic dogs. Sarah opens the door, and the moment they step inside, Max feels a sense of belonging wash over him. The cozy living room, adorned with warm colors and soft cushions, invites him to explore. He sniffs around, taking in the sense of home-cooked meals and fresh laundry. "Welcome home, boys," Sarah calls out, her voice filled with love. Max and Buddy race around the house, their tails wagging with pure joy. They leap onto the couch, claiming their new territory, and settle in beside Sarah as she pets them affectionately. Days turn into weeks, and Max thrives in his new environment. He enjoys long walks in the neighborhood, meeting friendly neighbors and their dogs. The backyard becomes a favorite spot for playtime, filled with games of fetch and lazy afternoons basking in the sun. Max learns to trust again, and he realizes that he is no longer just a stray. He is part of a family. Sarah provides him with everything he needs: food, love, and a safe place to sleep. Each night, as he curls up next to her on the couch, he feels a profound sense of gratitude for the journey he has taken. One evening, as they sit together watching the sunset, Sarah turns to Max and Buddy. "You two have changed my life," she says softly. "I'm so grateful to have you by my side. You've taught me about resilience and love in ways I never expected." Max gazes up at her, his heart full. He thinks back to the struggles he faced on the streets, the friendships he forged, and the kindness of strangers that led him here. It was a journey filled with uncertainty, but it had brought him to the one place he truly belonged. As the sun dips below the horizon, casting a warm glow over their little home, Max knows that he has found his forever family. With Buddy by his side and Sarah's love surrounding him, he feels ready to embrace whatever adventures lie ahead. In that moment, Max understands that home is not just a place. It's the people and the love that fill it. And for the first time in a long while, he feels completely safe and at peace.